Hey guys, so from my previous video, I had like 5,000 crystals, and well, I spent them all, and I didn't get anything, but MiHoYo gave out 5 expansion supply tickets to the Chinese server as an appreciation reward. Now, I'm not sure what category in the App Store it is, like if it's most downloaded or top grossing or something like that, but they are 2nd place for iPhone and 3rd place for iPad in China. So the letter just says, Bronya's Herrscher of Reason has been well received, thank you captains for supporting Honkai Impact 3. So I'm actually playing like really casually on the Chinese server, so I don't always plan to do content with it, and I'm not always recording, but I did remember to hit record on my last like 10 pulls, and I had enough for 2 more pulls after that. So as you can see, the rates for Valkyrie Ranger, here we go, is really high on this banner. So I put my initial 5,600 crystals in, and nothing came out of it, which is okay because it is an expansion, and you know, you'll just keep pushing the guarantee down all the way till, you know, if you really have to, 100 pulls, right? And so that's the initial plan. And I did try to pull on the Herrscher of the Void, which was open before the Herrscher of Reason came out, but didn't get anything as well, but it did help me push down my guarantee counter, and that's a good thing. And as you can see, I have 34 left to my next S rank guarantee, and so the plan is to keep farming because it's a new account. Every stage I do most of the time give me 15 crystals, and then if I rush through the story stages, I'll get those bonus 30 crystals as well. And so the next one right now is the guarantee, and yeah, so that's the idea. It's open for another 24 days as I'm doing this, and so you know, I'll definitely be able to farm enough, but fortunately, we don't always have to push it down to the 100 guarantee, and I managed to obtain the Herrscher of Reason. So for me, that was the initial plan, to just keep using all the crystals to push down the counter and get a Valkyrie that I really like, and so it was either the Herrscher of the Void or the Herrscher of Reason. I would have settled for Vermilion Knight maybe, but, and as you can see, 1 crystal remaining, and so I did go for that, but the better choice would be to go for equipment because I'm now in the Chinese server. I did actually create this account a long time ago, but I was also playing on the Japanese server. I was also building up my Southeast Asian server account, and so I didn't have the time to really manage it. I was stuck at like level 15 for a really long time, and now that there are other pro players from the Southeast Asian server who are playing, I'm playing it together with them, and that's why I am a lot more active in the Chinese server. It's not really much for content because, you know, like I always say, I feel like it's better that we cover the content as it reaches us, but being here, it is nice to actually sometimes cover some content in advance. And for the Herrscher of Reason, we have one really important thing that I would like to ask everyone to help out with, and that's what abbreviation are we going to use for the Herrscher of Reason? Now, a few have come up. Some people say GB because we go GK like God Kiana, so God Bronya. Some people say HOR, which is terrible. Please do not use that. Some people shorten it and call it HR. I think that one might work, but I really don't know. I think right now I'm leaning towards HR. It sounds like probably the best one, but it's really interesting to know. So if you guys would like to share the abbreviation you're using for this Battlesuit, please share it with us in the comment section down below, and it'll be interesting to know which one we end up with. So like I mentioned, I'm totally F2P on this server, and some people have asked about the Herrscher of Reason, and if it's gonna be like F2P friendly, or is she going to be overly reliant on her equipment, like signature equipment, of course. So here's the one thing that, if you don't take into consideration like all her stats, if you're just talking about in-game mechanics, she is definitely the strongest, I mean, as you would expect, the strongest Bronya battlesuit out there. But the reason for that, and the reason why I think even as an F2P, you will still find her useful, is because of her Herrscher mode. So unlike the Herrscher of the Void, she does not like have a snap and enter the Herrscher mode, but for her, you can charge up 4 bars above the HP bar, and then you can use those to bypass the charge time for a cannon, and it works with any cannon. And so now I have the Raider missiles, and I'm gonna show you just what I mean. And of course, you know, since she is the biker Bronya, and we're also excited about her mobility, I'm going to bring her to the open world and try to show you guys the cannons as well. Okay, so the Herrscher of Reason in the open world, and okay, so as soon as I moved my directional pad, she entered this bike mode. It's the first time I'm using it in open world as well, so that was pretty new to me. So I'm gonna assume if you don't touch it, she'll just stay that mode until you move the directional pad. And let's try to... Oh! So it did not get detected immediately. I think it's the speed, which is really cool. And we are going to... Wow. That is quite a bit of damage there. And this is how it works. So this is... Oops. This is how the split missiles work. And that's what you really want if you're going up against bosses. Because, you know, no charge time. That is insane. We would usually need the Valkyrie Chariot. Actually, I think that's the only way we can do it. With the Valkyrie Chariot in her Time Fracture, and then that's where you can stack missiles. But here, the Herrscher of Reason herself can stack because she can also activate Time Fractures. So that is incredible, and look at that. Okay. Alright, so in case you're wondering why it's sped up, it's because the Raider's missiles, if you remember, has an active skill of increasing your movement speed by 100%. And so I'm trying to like activate it as soon as I end a fight to kind of like give me a speed boost. Although I wasn't really successful at it, I think I lagged a bit. I'm not too sure if that will happen if you're trying to run this on your device because of how fast it's going, but we are going to try again. Also, just a little disclaimer, if you're unfamiliar with the way I record, I usually just play without background music so I can like edit something else in later so it will sound smoother. And the background music that I plan to, or you know, that you would be hearing on this video is actually from a current event. It is actually also from Honkai Impact, and it is like Sakura themed. And so since editing like the change from the normal open world maps to in battle and then coming back out is going to be quite a hassle, I'm just gonna play that one because it seems a little of both, and it's gonna be really interesting. So anyway, we're done with that. That was quite a bug. The ninja zombie character got stuck outside the barrier for some reason, but we're done with that. And so I'm going to attempt to do the movement speed increase, and hopefully we are successful this time. So, whoop, that was a little too quick, and I activated it too quickly, but here we go! Oh my god, look at that! Wow, that was kind of insane. So I just have to remember like how long it takes for the menu to fade away, and then I'm gonna try to activate my movement speed skill right before that, but I'm gonna save that for the Southeast Asian server. So we are pretty much done with the movement speed here, and I'm gonna try to equip a laser. I hope I do actually have one. Oh, that's how it works. So if you're in bike mode and you hit attack, you're going to spin the bike, which is amazing. The attack on that was really, yeah, that's really strong. It detected me, but it died already. So I'm gonna come back real quick with a laser. Alright, so I changed it to one of the basic lasers. I'm not sure if the damage will drop because it's not maxed out yet. It's a level 25 weapon, but we'll see about that. So one thing is that the bars for the Herrscher mode actually charge up pretty quickly, and that's the laser! That is simply amazing. And I previously did not really like laser weapons because they weren't doing too much damage, but this changes everything. So there's gonna be a few weapons that I want to see, but I only have in the Southeast Asian server. And hang on, for now we are going to bring the Herrscher of Reason with a laser weapon since, you know, it looks so awesome. Into Q Singularis. I'm only at Sinful right now and my level is 48, but we're gonna try it anyway. So yeah, the weapons that I'm looking forward to, first of all, would be the M134 Vulcan minigun. It's probably just gonna shoot out these laser blasts, but we're gonna try it anyway. And then the other one would be the Star of Eden. I think that one's gonna be unique. So yeah, that's just a little bit of the Herrscher of Reason. There's not much to show right now because, you know, she's not at max level. And so it's just a really fun thing for— whoops. I missed those 2 laser blasts, did you see that? So maybe there's gonna be a learning curve, I don't know, but it's not gonna be too bad. Alright, we're really close to the LT, so I am going to use it, because why not?
Switch engine drive. Shift up. 1, 2, 3.
Wow, I really love that. I mean, once you see the Herrscher of the Void, you're like, how epic can it go? You know, after we already have someone that's this epic, and then the next Herrscher comes out. And so a lot of people have been speculating that the next Herrscher will be Mei, and we'll finally have like a full Herrscher team. And, you know, she'll somehow recover her Herrscher core. And that'll be really interesting. She and her Herscher's personality are already on good terms, and she kind of briefly used her Herrscher powers against the Herrscher of the Void, though I'm not sure to what extent, but it shows that she already has control of it, and now she just has to recover the core. If we ever do see that, it's probably gonna be this time next year, or maybe the end of next year, which will be great. In the meantime, I'm still always hoping for Durandal and or Cecilia. Although there's no news related to that at all, Durandal has been showing up in like the comics, you know, those not the canon storylines, but the side stories. She has been showing up more often, and that gives me a bit of hope, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, I didn't use a canon type, like canon, but I already did it in the trial stages. That's pretty much how the cannons work, and so you can catch that video on the channel. It's the previous video before this one. So I'm just gonna quickly cover 2 more things that I've been asked before the video ends. One is this BP. I'm gonna assume it's Battle Pass in English, but this is the Chinese server, so it's all in Chinese. But what it says here is, you can complete daily tasks and time-limited activities to easily upgrade your equipment and, you know, get rewards also by buying an advanced voucher or elite voucher to unlock more extra rewards. And so we'll go into that later. I have seen a bit of this information like floating around the internet, but it has literally just been released on the Chinese version, so I'm gonna take the chance to look at it. So this one says, an elite workshop has been opened, and the weapons and stigmata that you see right here, they will rotate, but the Oath of Judah is gonna be by season. It says here it's a summer limited weapon, and you have to exchange it before 3.3 ends. And in the announcements, they said tentatively one version is 1 season at the moment. And so, yeah, it's a really good way for us to get stuff for free, because these are actually really expensive equipment. I mean, if you were to go for gacha and like try to assemble a set, you already know. But, you know, now you can do like daily quests and limited quests to get them. And so this is the list of like the equipment. Whoops. Oh, that's daily. Yeah, that's those. Okay, ignore that. Anyway, so this is the list of like the items that we can obtain. And those cores are what you want to be getting. They will be used to exchange for weapons and stigmata. Okay, so these are the limited quests. There are like new bosses, new boss options in the Memorial Arena that you can take on. There's one like spend 300 stamina and stuff like that. So right here, right now, what I'm doing is claiming my daily tasks, and as you can see, some of them come with BP and some of them do not. So basically, this is a season pass system. You might have seen it in some other mobile games as well, and the BP is the EXP for the season pass. And so this fidget spinner thing is also like a currency. Like I mentioned, the cores will be used for weapons and stigmata, and the fidget spinners will be used for other stuff like Imaginon's willpower. I think I saw it briefly somewhere else. And a focus card. Let me just get to that menu real quick. Okay, so anyway, back here, if you buy the passes, you will have the list below unlocked as well. Otherwise, you can only claim from this one list. Like I said, you know, you can see these kinds of battle passes in different mobile games as well. And so yeah, this is where we spend the fidget spinners, and this is where we spend the cores. So I don't think we'll be able to like get enough cores to exchange for a weapon in 1 season. So it says up there 26th of August, so that's when it's gonna end, and these will be the 2 packs. And as you can see, we buy it with B chips. So I'll definitely be getting this one because, you know, ribbon, I love collecting these stuff. But anyway, for these 2 packs, the yellow one that costs 600 B chips, it's where you'll get this, the recolored skins, and the second line of rewards. And so for the blue one, it says you can get the limited ribbon, and 20 levels. So apparently if you buy it, you'll just get, I think that 20,000 BP is worth 20 levels of EXP. And with that, we will also be getting the cores and the crystals. However, if you are an F2P, it's of course going to be slower, but at least it's something else to be farming for. We'll also get crystals and stuff like that in the season pass, which is great. And you can add that along to everything else that you're farming for, like A rank Valkyrie fragments, some of the S rank Valkyrie fragments, Stigmata resonators, and now this. And that's gonna help a lot with your growth. And so in the Southeast Asian server, I've just thought that this might be something that's really cool to mention. There are players who have 0 top-up, like totally 0. They haven't even bought the monthly card, and they have gotten 100,000 points in the Memorial Arena. So it's a lot of farming for the right stuff, like the right A rank Valkyrie, getting your Lightning Empress to triple S, your Night Moonbeam to triple S. By the way, my Night Moonbeam, still not triple S, but my Lightning Empress has recently gotten to triple S. And it's totally by farming. So, these players, they know their stuff, they know what they're doing, and, you know, if you've been doing open world since the time it opened up till now, you would have enough resonators for at least 2, maybe 3 Stigmata from the exchange house. And if you go for Noon Bees or stuff like Schrodinger Tea, or anything else that you're lacking at the moment. Oh, also, there's Time Swirl, which is now Bounty Mark. So there's a lot that can help you to get really good equipment for the Memorial Arena and even for the Abyss. So yeah, to me, the game has been moving in the right direction. I know I've been saying it pretty often, but it is. I mean, even as someone who spent on the game, which reminds me, there's this one more thing that I wanted to talk about. I saw in the beta, I'm not sure if they're gonna implement it, or maybe they will just in future. There was this, like, Pioneer supply. What it is like, you can get the older S-rank Valkyries at, like, a much higher rate. So the person I saw in the beta, I'm not sure if the rates are fixed, but if memory serves, he did like 60 pulls and got like 3 or 4 Night Moonbeam cards. And so he was mentioning like he's not sure how the Wills would feel about this. Personally, as someone who spends on the game, I feel it's okay. Every game will give newer players or even players who are like not catching up from before a chance to catch up with older content. But in most games, their older content becomes obsolete really quickly. In Honkai, it's really different. Like Night Moonbeam, she was one of the first S-rank Valkyries, and she was there since the game started, but she's still relevant. Same thing for Lightning Empress, same thing for Blood Rose even, and same thing for Dimension Breaker, even though, you know, she's been slipping in and out of being useful. But, I do not disagree with this. I think it's okay to let people have a chance to catch up. And even as for me, I went with the jars instead of getting a fragment, so my Night Moonbeam is a little behind. Doesn't mean I'll be using that supply, but it's nice that it's there so that people can catch up and not have to spend too much as well. So if you're F2P and you have a lot of crystals stocked up, you might want to look out for that news. It's not confirmed yet. I just saw it when I was glancing stuff in Bilibili, but it's nice to know that stuff like that are out there for people to be able to catch up. And that brings me to my final topic, the Void Drifter, which is the augment core of the Valkyrie Ranger. So it's not out yet. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait until 1st of August before we can see it released in the Chinese server. So until then, you won't be seeing any gameplay like outside of the beta. But I'm really looking forward to it. Thanks to the expansion supply, my Valkyrie Ranger is now at S rank. I know it's not like great or anything, but for an F2P at level 48, that's something. So yeah, that brings us to the end of the video, and I hope I've covered most of, or if not all of the questions that people have been asking regarding version 3.3 or whatever it is that I know in the version. And I hope the video has been useful to you guys. If you still do have any questions, you can feel free to ask them in the comment section. Either myself or someone else will answer it. You can also look for me on Twitter or Facebook, and the links will always be in the descriptions. And even though I don't post a lot, I've been checking them more often so that I can respond more quickly. And so far, everyone has been great. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching as well. This has been MG, and I will see you guys soon.